moving right along. Topic 4. Let's close it out with Trove Topics. This is where you can be part of the show by tweeting at me or at the show at Trove Talk on Twitter with the hashtag Trove Topics, or just keep an eye out, around every Friday or so whenever I sit down with my guest and say, hey, I'm sitting down with this person, so let's visit about it. What questions do you have? So we've got a handful. Starting out with a couple from this guy Nathan Swisher at OCR underscore Melkor. You just wanted to dive in.
These two go together.
Yeah. So a couple of the recurring jokes that we have in our friendly banter. Why do you hate FFX so much, and why did you ruin the Gamescast? So yeah, as we touched on way back in the first topic, the first time we really got to know each other was when we did Symphony of the Night, when we did the book club for that. Rest in peace, Kind of Funny book club. And we kind of became friends after that, and yeah, you like that because I changed out of doing the book club tier to go and be on the show. So like Greg mentioned that when we were getting set up. So you were the first person that ever before my family that found out that I was going to be going and doing the Kind of Funny Gamescast.
Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as I get back off the Gamescast, because I mentioned that Final Fantasy X is I basically told Tim that he could skip it because it was like on the Vita at that point.
And Tim was wondering if he should play it.
We were talking about games to play.
And Colin also agrees with you.
Yeah, and so my pass on that recommendation led to the Final Fantasy X hate
and ruining the Gamescast joke.
And then just also because I didn't like Final Fantasy X, ruined the Gamescast.
It wasn't because you didn't like it and you told him to skip it. It was because you and Colin just ratted on it for like 10 minutes. It was like you didn't talk about any of the good points. It was only the bad stuff.
I mean, that's so yeah. Like as to, I don't hate Final Fantasy.
And I know, you don't hate it. It's in your mid tier.
About this a little bit, but in the hierarchy that we touched on earlier of like, okay, there's the games I like, there's the games that are forgettable and meh, and then there's the games that I hate. Like, 10 is at the bottom of the games I like, actually.
Yeah.
So it's like it has its flaws in that I
agree.
The voice direction.
The voice
is
embarrassing. But that's one thing people gloss over is you correctly said it's the voice direction that is bad. It's not the actor's fault. Like, especially the biggest thing is like the laughing scene everyone points out. Like, it's supposed to be bad laughing. Like, that's the point is Yuno makes fun of him because he's like not really laughing. And then they eventually evolve into actual laughter, which sounds normal.
Yeah.
Which actually, did you see someone put out a Titus Laughter version of the Final Fantasy X the Final Fantasy X song?
I saw
Suzanne Arkin, I think it was.
But I didn't actually like click and open it and listen to it.
Okay, well, the voice actor responded to that by making it look like he was making all the sounds to the song. Like, he cut himself going like, ha, 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 ha. He did that, and at the end, he was like, it's supposed to sound like that. Shut up.
Yeah, because that's it was James Arnold Taylor, the same guy who is Ratchet, right?
Yep.
So that's why I often point out that it's not the voice acting that is
the
ruining
direction.
Those things.
But a lot of people
have great people like him. You have John DiMaggio. You have in the 13 trilogy, you have Troy Baker. Like if you make Troy Baker sound wooden and bored, it's not Troy Baker screwing that up. It's that you're not that the direction is not getting.
Exactly.
It's like they don't care about it, and so that's what like my biggest gripe with 10 is.
That's definitely a problem.
But no, like it was the last of kind of the more turn-based games. So yeah, I enjoy 10, and the story of it and the characters are likable. It's just that the direction. That's what cemented for me the idea that Final Fantasy is interested in making pretty things.
Yeah. And they definitely more recently have been like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like that's like the transition between like, okay, they're adding now in this like the filmic element of camera cuts and voiced
cutscenes,
characters and
voice
stuff.
characters. Yeah,
Um,
I guess
but
the
like
other
the
ones had
highlights
cutscenes,
of the story are all the cinematics and how beautifully rendered and crafted they are. And
yeah,
so it's like that's clearly what they put time and energy into over some of these other elements
yep,
that I wish it were a more cohesive thing. And I
yeah.
think you see that in more so in 12 and then all of the 13 trilogies.
Well,
And
yeah,
so far that's what I've seen in 15 as well.
yeah. They definitely seem to be focusing more on graphics and trying different things with their gameplay
Yeah.
than sticking to their roots. Like 12 was let's try to make it a MMO style combat system, an MMO with but single player.
Yeah.
13 was let's make a linear, like much more action focused battle system, which was really good and a lot. That was like people like that a lot about 13. Like that's probably the most praised thing is the combat systems are really cool, like interesting idea. A lot of people don't like it, but it's definitely probably the most praised thing about that game.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and then with 15, they're going into basically Kingdom Hearts. It's basically Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But which isn't really them trying anything new, but for Final Fantasy it is. But yeah, with 1 through 10, it was very much the party based turn or ATB style, like RPG, like true RPG. So those are definitely what they're focusing on.
Yeah.
And 10 was kind of the start of that.
10.
Yeah, I know. But like one thing that bothers me is like that with as someone who enjoyed 13, people give 13 a lot of shit for being linear. 10 was very linear until late, but people like don't mind it in 10 for some reason, and I don't know why.
I mean, 10 at least gives you early on, like for me, something is like I could dive into Blitzball or something.
Yeah.
Like really early on, so I don't have to just continue on.
Yeah, that's true. There wasn't really anything else to do in 13.
Yeah, there is no side quest until you get to
that's true.
The open
true.
world section, 20 hours in, 30 hours in, whatever.
Yeah.
So I put in tons of time into Blitzball, so
yeah.
it was like I would go and do that kind of stuff when I didn't feel like kind of just progressing along in the story. And that's like once it's introduced, you can do it kind of at your own pace anytime you get to a safe spot.
Yeah, definitely. So, I've always said they needed to make a FIFA style Blitzball game. I would pay for literally just a Blitzball game, like much more polished version of Blitzball as an actual game.
And then as to why did I ruin the games cast? I mean, just because I needed to.
I mean, you spent all that money. You might as well ruin it while you're there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like it was, like they'd had a few good months, and I just needed to burn it all to the ground. No, I had a great time doing the game.
No, yeah, you did great. You're definitely usually mentioned as one of the best guests on the Gamescast out of the Patreon people, at least.
Yeah, one of the like the highlights of that I've talked about every now and then is like coming back and reading the comments and stuff, and people not real like because we gloss over it at the beginning that I'm there as a Patreon person, and so like people not realizing
thinking you're just a friend.
Yeah, they thought I was like an industry friend of theirs. I was like, well, that's the best compliment.
That's a good sign. Yeah, that's very good.
So I'm just gonna,
especially as someone trying to get into the industry.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, has succeeded in getting into the industry. I'm sorry. Congratulations.
In the barest of bones.
Freelance version of the industry.
Yes. But yeah, no, I mean, like I would absolutely love to go back on the Gamescast at some point. If I do kind of progress and make it become like a full-time industry person.
Yeah.
That's certainly like, and I got to go see this studio when I was in San Francisco a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
the IGN party, and that was a lot of fun. And they brought me out onto Colin and Greg Live,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is cool.
dude. Yep.
And we talked. I was like, yeah, I mean, like I let them know. I was like, hey, like if I end up out here like on a more permanent basis and get like a job, I would like
Love to be on
one of
it
my
again.
goals would be to come back and do another show with you guys and
Yeah.
like thank your community for helping make it all happen. So
Yeah.
yeah, and so I'll definitely be sure to ruin that one.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Don't make sure you put down Final Fantasy 10 a bunch for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Up next, Joey Noel returns after a week absence, missing Christian's episode last week, to say pineapple on pizza and Fast and Furious discussion, please. So where do you fall on the pineapple on pizza debate?
I can't stand it,
Twitter.
but I also am biased because I actually don't really like pineapple that much in general.
That's
so putting it on pizza is just making it even worse.
Joey will be very happy to hear that because that's where she falls on the pineapple pizza debate.
Yeah,
I'm ambivalent. I don't mind it, but I also don't go out of my way to get Hawaiian pizza.
If someone ordered one and it was the only pizza there, I would eat it. Like, I'm not gonna like pick it off or throw it in a fire or something. But I'm not disgusted by pineapple, and I'm not disgusted by it on pizza. But I would very much prefer it not to be there.
And I've still not watched any more of the Fast and Furious movies, so I have nothing to contribute to that discussion.
So you're not seen any?
Where do you fall on the Fast and the Furious series?
You haven't seen any of them?
I've seen the first one.
Okay, well, that's like the cheesiest old ones.
Yeah, well, I watched that when it came out, basically.
Yeah, I was introduced probably 3 or 4 years ago to them in college by a friend, and I love them. I own them all on Blu-ray. They're amazing movies. They're basically superhero movies at this point. Like, that's what they are. Like, they took the superhero formula and just made it about people that race cars instead of people with superpowers. But Tokyo Drift is the best.
Tokyo Drift is the best.
Tokyo Drift is the best because it introduced Han, and Han is the best character in the series. And it's about drifting, and it's ridiculous. And the main character has the worst southern accent I've ever heard.
Awesome. All right, that's one for Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift.
As
where it's at.
Cool. Another Nate McKinney at Mick with a Mouth.
My rival. In the kind of funny community.
Yes, it's one Nate or the other. Nate asks, what genres do you feel are most underrepresented in games?
So, I thought about this for a bit, and we've talked about this genre a lot because it's my favorite genre. I think Metroidvanias are probably the most underrated, or like underrepresented is what you said. That's right.
Yeah.
Just like we don't get enough of them. I feel like we get maybe one a year at most, and like it's been pretty steady. Like there's been a boom in them recently, but for a while it was like we got one a year. We got the Game Boy Advance and DS Castlevanias thrown in there whenever Nintendo decided to pull Metroid out of the basement. We got Metroid Prime or Metroid Fusion and the Metroid Prime series. But then it was like, I guess I did look it up after, like the year after the Castlevania series stopped was when Shadow Complex came out. So it never really stopped. There was never like a break. But I mean, we've had since 2009 was Shadow Complex. We've had like Shadow Complex, Ori, Guacamelee, Song of the Deep, Axiom Verge.
Headlander was another one that came out this year.
Headlanders this year, yeah. So there's a lot this year, but like, we had Shadow Complex, which led into like Guacamelee is the one I can think of after that, maybe. Dust and Elysian Tales, another really good one. But that was all last gen. That was like all we got since like 2009. And then this gen, there's been a much more boon because we got Ori, Headlander, Song of the Deep, Axiom Verge.
So you don't. So it sounds like you don't classify like, because I look at something like the Arkham games and the Rise of the Tomb Raider games, the reboot. I look at those as also Metroidvanias. They're 3D Metroidvanias, but it's the same kind of mechanics. It's Metroidvania mixed with like third person action.
Yeah, and I think that's the mixture that like I do consider them Metroidvanias, but I also consider them like third-person action games. Like they're not like I want that completely open world where I have to go from one end of the world to the other and back, like constantly, like getting new items to find new areas. Where with with Tomb Raider, there's really only like you only have to go back for like collectibles. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to ever backtrack in Tomb Raider really that I can think of.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I want something that's like where you have to backtrack. Like it is a big open world where you're meant to constantly be going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Arkham is a little bit more, I would say, uh, Metroidvania than Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
There is a lot more like where you kind of have to backtrack. But yeah, I kind of do forget about those sometimes because I'm thinking of just like straight. This is marketed as a Metroidvania where those aren't really.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you looking forward to Bloodstain when that comes out? You backed it
yep,
as well,
yep.
right?
I backed it. I
Yeah.
backed it at the level where I get listed under the kind of funny fan. It's in
Oh
the
yeah, man.
credits or whatever.
I'll be in
Um,
there too.
yeah, I played the demo. I think it felt really good.
Cool.
Played really well because yeah, they sent out the E3
Yeah.
demo to everyone that backed it. So yeah,
As basically, hey, we promise we're not going to be Mighty Number Nine.
yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, I think it felt great. It definitely felt like Symphony of the Night. There's a reason like he's he's the father of Castlevania, and he's not shying away from, hey, we're making another Castlevania.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Um,
I'm looking forward to that. Trying to think if there's any other ones that are really that I know about that are coming out, and I can't really.
yeah. Yeah. It's. I mean, it is certainly an underrepresented, and just because I do associate the Arkham games
Yeah,
and stuff as like I don't think of it as underrepresented as my go-to or my
I
choice
was
would
gonna say,
be
what was yours?
kind of like the like puzzle game, like AAA puzzle games effectively
Okay,
is what my like and doesn't have to be AAA, but like I'm thinking
so
of
like the
something like The
Witness.
Witness.
Yeah, okay,
Exactly. The Witness is my like I played that
that's
this year and
understandable.
I was like it like I wish we had more games like this so
So
that this wasn't such a crazy anomaly because I love that game and I had so much fun doing it and playing through it and having to kind of just do the puzzles
yeah,
and like a lot of people were like I just it doesn't connect with me and I'm like
hmm
but would it connect with you if like because it like people talk about it like having to learn a new language or something. I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, but you had to learn the shooter language at some point
yeah,
too.
exactly. It's just
But
we don't.
because
You're
like
not exposed to that
yeah,
language as
so
much.
so yeah, that's kind of the like uh, the puzzle
Okay.
game,
So what do you
like
count?
just straightforward puzzler,
Okay. So what do you
more
count?
so.
Like Portal? Is that
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Portal I would say kind of falls in that
in that
like
category?
your Portals, your Witness,
I was gonna
and
say,
then
what other
like
examples
I
would
mean
you
like
have?
even something like it's not as like a straight example, but like Catherine and the
Okay.
puzzle
Yeah. No,
elements,
Catherine's definitely a puzzle game.
like
Yeah.
the emphasis on puzzling. It like effectively it's something where like puzzles like solving puzzles is the predominant gameplay
hmm
over action or platforming or shooting.
Yeah.
Like that's I think something we just don't get enough of. And like I get why because it is hard to come up with puzzles that are satisfying in that and make it feel new
Yeah.
as opposed to just like okay let's I mean like this year if you count something like Tetris in this vein as well like we had like I played Tumblestone, I've played Tricky Towers, I've played like two or three kind of Tetris-y games
Yeah.
that each kind of are their own unique twist on it, but they're like none of them
They're
really
not.
grabbed me
Yeah. They're not.
um,
That
as a
genre is much more like mobile focused
yeah yeah
nowadays.
very much
They've
so
moved away from making AAA like types of games like that.
yeah. So that's kind of what I would lean to is I would love to see more games like The Witness, kind of come out and make that more of a like a standard genre in the ecosystem.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always just with mine with Metroidvanias, I've always been on the boat with Colin where he says like just give me a Castlevania platform and release a new castle every month or couple of months and I will be happy to play that forever.
Mm-hmm. Next up, Louis Menchaca, fellow Patreon supporter guest of Kinda Funny, at Chakalaka88, asks, what inspired you to always ask the same question every Friday in reference to, like, me saying, I guess,
no, he's referencing me.
I guess it is more towards you.
No,
I read it, I was like, I mean, like, I always ask people to ask questions.
No, he's talking about on Facebook group.
That's right, yeah, no, I guess that is you.
Yeah. No, he, basically it comes from after doing the book club and just talking with you on Facebook chat or whatever, just trying to get a little more involved in the Kinda Funny community on the Facebook group. I'm much more of a lurker when it comes to internet stuff, so I don't really post very often on like forums or even on the Facebook group. Like I don't comment very often unless I have something like really useful or really like in depth to say about whatever people are posting about. So I just felt like I wanted to get a little more involved, and that seemed like a interesting way to just kind of get people to notice me in the Facebook group as like someone that's there and hanging out with people.
Yeah.
So I just figured I'd do something every Friday, ask what people are playing on the weekends. Every once in a while I see someone trying to steal my idea and I yell at them.
Yeah.
But I've been doing it since we did the book club in February of last year, so it's going on almost 2 years.
Yeah.
I've missed one weekend where you caught it and posted for me.
Yeah.
So, and then there was one weekend like a couple months ago where I was doing something on Friday and I posted on Saturday, but other than that, I've hit every Friday. So
yeah, it's weird because I guess I just didn't even associate Lewis as asking that because I know Lewis isn't in the group all that much.
Okay.
So it was like it was like I was like, I mean, I always ask like, hey, what do people want to talk about on the show? Because it's just kind of one of those like podcasting standards.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't even until like we were just discussing it where I was like, oh, that's not directed at me.
No, that was directed at me.
Yeah, no, I like I said, people might not like catch the name behind it, but the fact that you are like a steady presence in the group, I think is one of the things that like I know to expect every Friday in the group.
Yep.
Cool. And then Zyger comes in with a flurry of questions.
Yep.
As he often does. Happy birthday, Zyger.
Happy birthday.
It's his 21st birthday as we're recording this. It's still in my time zone. He's
it is no longer his birthday where I am.
No longer on your end of the world, but
kid Zyger.
Yeah. So Zyger's first question directed at you.
Yes.
Why do you suck at Smash Bros. Scrub? Normal hair Robin is best Robin. 1v1 me pleb.
Okay, well, he must be just blackout drunk because there's a story to this. This is in reference to RTX 2015, where me, my friends that came with me to RTX, Zyger, Luis, Andy, Cortez from Rooster Teeth, all pretty much hung out all weekend. And Jared Straub. I don't know if you know his name.
I met him at this last RTX.
Okay, yeah. So we all spent pretty much the whole RTX hanging out. This was before Andy was Andy from Rooster Teeth. He was just Andy, the fan of Rooster Teeth. So we all hung out at RTX, and Zyger brought his Wii U, and we played a lot of Smash. And during that weekend, I discovered that I really enjoyed playing Robin, specifically pink-haired Robin. So I had started playing pink-haired Robin that weekend. Zyger, who plays normal Robin, challenged me to a 1v1 and lost. So I don't know where he gets this from because I have backups. I have proof. You could ask Andy. You can ask Jared. I beat Zyger in a 1v1 Robin versus Robin matchup, and it was the first time I'd played Robin that weekend.
He was
So I
trying
don't.
to rewrite history.
Yeah, basically. That's why I said
That's
he must be like blackout drunk from his birthday, not
no,
remembering.
that's just the power of Zyger getting to his head
Yeah,
and
definitely.
thinking that he can that because he's a big deal in the kind of
Oh
fighting
yeah,
community
definitely.
that
He's
he can
definitely
pull that
on
kind of
an
crap.
ego trip rivaling Greg.
Oh,
So
absolutely. His next question. As of this recording, today is my 21st, and I've never had a drop of alcohol before. Recommendations. Do you want to take this one first?
yeah, I can go first. So I really enjoy a white Cuban, which is a white Russian with rum instead of vodka, because I don't really like
Okay.
vodka that much. But yeah, so it's milk, Kahlua, and rum. So just normal rum, not spiced rum. Just Bacardi or whatever. And then I usually throw some Bailey's in there because it's milk and Bailey's is just better milk. So when
Yeah.
you're drinking alcohol, so I enjoy that a lot. Old fashions are always good to go by.
Yeah.
And
Old fashions are
mojitos.
certainly a safe bet in
Mojitos
the
are also very good.
community. Cool. Yeah, I go with the rum and coke.
Rum and
Uh,
cokes,
it's my
always a
my
solid
standard.
choice.
And the rationale behind that, as I always tell, is because it reminds me of my childhood. Because my dad would he would work weekends, and so
Mhm.
after a long weekend of work, we'd go and he'd like take me along to run errands at like the grocery store or something, and so like he'd run inside, grab some groceries and stuff, and leave me inside in the car with his giant green thermos. Which I
Okay.
thought was just Coke, and I would take like a sip of it and be like, "This tastes funny,"
It tastes like
and it
weird
wasn't
Coke.
until years later that I pieced together that it was because he'd thrown in some rum to kind of unwind after a long
One day.
weekend.
Yeah.
And so yeah, when I finally started drinking when I was like 22, 23, something like that, I was like
Yep.
rum and Coke became my drink of choice, and because of the nostalgic feel.
Yep.
I tend to do spiced rum
Okay.
myself.
Yeah,
You know the
when I do rum and I usually do rum and Dr Pepper, but yeah, for that I'll do Captain's or spiced rum or whatever. It's just
yeah
for the white Cubans. It's the spiced rum with the milk is kind of weird, so
yeah
you
that's
usually
oh
just
yeah no.
throw in Bacardi or whatever.
I feel like that would be like I feel like if you did spiced rum, it would be like and this is I'm sure super racist, but like a white Mexican where
Yeah,
it's basically like horchata.
yeah, probably.
Um,
Um,
I mean I can say that because I live in Arizona, right?
yeah, sure.
That's how
You're
that
close
works.
enough to
Sure,
Mexico. Yeah, that's fine.
we'll go with that.
Um,
Yeah,
one other thing. Don't disregard beer if you don't like shitty like mass produced beer because I mean I'd had like Bud Light or whatever and I hate it, but craft beer is great.
yeah,
I really like dark beers, so I like porters and stouts.
yeah.
Um, those
That's
are
I'm the same way. I hated beer for a long time because I'd only had the shitty ones, and then like at some point somebody bought me an Irish car bomb, and I was like,
no
hey, it
Irish
turns
car
out
bombs are so
I
good.
like Guinness.
Yeah, yeah, that's another
um,
thing. Get just wasted on Irish car bombs. They taste like chocolate milkshakes.
um, and dear Lord help us come
When's like
PSX when
yeah,
everybody's trying to get Zyger drunk.
yeah, I know.
I
Have fun
I
with
have to
that,
play responsible
especially
adult
because you
at
gotta
that.
be
So
his dad basically.
yep.
So
So that'll be a fun time in a couple weeks.
yeah, have fun.
Yep. Uh, Zyger continues. All this is, by the way, at Zyger1337. Um, what are you playing over the weekend? He asks. This one I knew was directed at you.
Yeah.
And what games are you looking forward to in 2017? And tacos or burritos?
Okay. Well, I'll go first on everything. I am playing Dishonored. I'm working on my no kill, no detection run on my first playthrough because I figure then it'll be easy to get the rest of the achievements by running through his Corvo and just murdering everyone.
There you go.
I might start Pokemon. I got them. I'm not sure if I'm gonna wait until I finish. I might wait until I finish Dishonored, but I know I'm gonna be playing Pokemon just in the background when Final Fantasy comes. Like, there's no way I'm finishing Pokemon before Final Fantasy, so I'll probably just be playing that in the background. So I might start that. But that's about it. What about you?
I'm playing, probably switching up between Watch Dogs 2 and Dishonored 2.
Yep.
I started Watch Dogs 2 last night, and just kind of had fun, like, wandering around San Francisco. Like, going, I'm having a lot more fun just kind of, like, doing stupid things in the city than I am, like, going through the story so far.
Yeah.
And so I imagine, like, I'll probably dive into Dishonored, do some story things, and then when I like am ready for a break, I'll just kind of go back into Watch Dogs and just kind of screw around in that world a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, so that will be my weekend of gaming.
What are you looking forward
to in 2017?
A lot. So I have a giant list of upcoming games on my phone that I keep with release dates and stuff. So if we want to go through the whole list, it's not crazy, but I don't know, like Resident Evil, Kingdom Hearts 2.8, and the HD on PS4. Neo, I've played both betas. It's literally just Dark Souls, but with a like samurai Ninja Gaiden skin on it. It's made by Team Ninja, but it is a Dark Souls game. It's really good if you like Souls games. For Honor is interesting. I'm not sure. I played the alpha or whatever they had, the multiplayer beta. I'm more interested in the single player than I am the multiplayer, which it was really pushed as a multiplayer game, but it just seems like a cool single player. Halo Wars is definitely up there. I forgot to mention in gaming history, but strategy games and Halo, like they somehow
seems like a perfect match,
and they somehow made it work on a console. So Halo Wars 2 looks great. Horizon Zero Dawn looks amazing. Ghost Recon I'll probably play with my Destiny crew. So, and then Persona 5, which got delayed.
Yeah,
sad day. And then a couple things just for that don't really have exact release dates, but Bloodstained, if it does come out, we don't know. Cuphead, who knows if that's still a game, if it'll ever come out. Danganronpa 3, I'll probably pick up the Final Fantasy 12 HD release because I never finished it. Breath of the Wild, Mass Effect, Red Dead, South Park, which I didn't get to play, or I didn't play Stick of Truth. So I'm excited that comes in packed in, so I'll probably play both.
Yeah.
The new Valkyria Chronicles, Azure Revolution or whatever, which from what I've heard sounds more like a normal JRPG than a strategy JRPG, so we'll see how that works out. And then Ukulele. So a lot.
Yeah, I mean you hit a lot of the ones I'm probably most excited about. The Persona 5 is probably the top of the list.
Yeah, that's definitely up there on mine. That and Danganronpa.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Prey, if that comes out next year, that looks like it would be kind of cool. I mean, I like Dishonored, so I like what Arcane does.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a sci-fi Dishonored type game. So.
Yeah. And then Red Dead. I'm excited enough about it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am.
Like I've just become conditioned to not expect it will actually come out next year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly.
So
we have no idea if it.
I anticipate that being a 2018 game.
Yep.
But if it comes out, I'll certainly play it and dive into it, and I'm sure I'll have a good time with it. Yeah. Those are kind of the big ones that are on the. I'll be curious if God of War comes out next year.
Exactly. That's one up there.
Certainly in my that
on your radar.
I'm looking forward to whenever it comes out.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. I think that's probably about it of what we know. Or those are the big ones. Like a lot because a lot of the ones that you kind of touched on just aren't in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, like Halo Wars and stuff.
It'll be interesting. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens with some of the annualized franchises. Coming,
also,
what Call of Duty's going to do next year.
Yeah, we get Egyptian Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So
which is basically confirmed in Watch Dogs 2.
Is it really? Is there a hint?
I mean, pretty much. Because it's got kind of you overhear phone or you hack into phone conversations and stuff, and that will trigger a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things is very self-referential, and it's talking about like the mission that I haven't done yet, but the trigger for the mission is like a Ubisoft executive talking about like Unity, Syndicate, Osiris all got leaked.
Okay.
Like what are we gonna do? And so it's basically like, okay, you got to go sneak into Ubisoft and like steal the next trailer.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
But the fact that they joke about Kotaku leaking Osiris,
yeah.
Even though that like Osiris hasn't officially been confirmed.
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
Like the fact that it's there in the game, it's like that's a good tongue in cheek.
Yeah, definitely.
Approach to it. So yeah, that'll be that might get me to try again. But I also
I'll definitely try it based on Syndicate stuff I've heard about Syndicate and how good it was, and them just taking a 2-year break. Like I have faith that they'll refresh some stuff and upgrade some stuff. Last thing would be Scorpio. I'll be getting a Scorpio day one, regardless of what's on it or what. I'll buy a 4K TV. I'll have to get a new receiver even, but I've played my Xbox enough to warrant giving them my money.
All right.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what just like with the PS4 Pro, like what makes Scorpio worthwhile.
Yeah.
Especially because they're saying, like we're not going to leave gamers behind. So anything you can play on Scorpio, you'll be able to play.
I don't believe that.
Maybe
I
don't either.
I fully expect Scorpio exclusives.
Like buzz talk, but
yeah.
But that's how they're selling it so far.
Yeah, I think you'll be able to keep your Xbox One stuff. You'll be able to play everything on Xbox One that you can play on Xbox One will be playable on Scorpio. Like, it's going to be fully backwards compatible because it's going to run. I feel like it's going to run the same OS and everything. Yeah. Like, it is an Xbox One with way better hardware, but they're eventually going to take advantage of that hardware in a way that an Xbox One can't downgrade.
Yeah.
So
in the same way that
and that's why I'll buy one because I'm going to want to play that Halo 6, which will. Sure, it might be playable on Xbox One, but it'll have crazy better stuff on the Scorpio.
Yeah.
So.
And then lastly, tacos or burritos?
Burritos, because I like soft shell tacos, and it's just a soft shell taco that won't fall apart.
Yeah, I lean towards burritos myself at this point. I was tacos for a long time because I didn't like. For whatever reason, I just didn't like bean burritos. I
don't like beans. I don't put beans in my burritos.
Okay. Eventually, I got over that. I'm fine with bean burritos now. But yeah, it was like for a long time, it was like, well, I'm gonna do tacos because I can get all the stuff I like in a burrito, but without the beans.
Yeah.
And at some point, I was just like, well, let me just try let me just see what beans taste like, and I was like, okay, they're fine.
Yep.
Like I'll do pinto. I won't do black beans. And then last question from Zyger. With the Switch possibly getting an updated Smash Brothers, which character would you add to the game and why? Do you have an answer for this?
It took me a while. I came up with something ridiculous because I thought it'd be funny. Is Tingle. Tingle needs to be a playable character in Smash Bros.
Okay. Mine is less like that. I like my answer is bring the Pokemon trainer back, and also just put every single Pokemon in the game.
Like 600. It's just a 1 in 600 chance you get what you want.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. That would be the coding nightmare.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
I had an idea with I was trying to think of something outside of Nintendo. And the obvious answer was like Cloud or whatever. I was trying to think of a Final Fantasy character, and I went to my favorite, which would be Yuna. And I was thinking it'd be cool to make Yuna like a Pokemon trainer, where she different summons, like you have Valifor or Ifrit or whatever.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it'd be fun to have just completely more completely non Nintendo characters.
Well, yeah, I was thinking like Master Chief or whatever, but I tried to be a little more realistic.
Yeah.
So I went to
Yuna.
Just
put Shepard in there,
and then I put a little more realistic. I was like, let's go Tingle because he's already in the game as like a trophy or whatever the hell they are, support characters, I think.
Yeah, I mean, from Tokyo Mirage Sessions, like, could you see any of those
Oh yeah,
characters
like
popping in there?
Itsuki or something. Well, not really, because you'd just probably just be their persona. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, you could put some of them in.
I mean, I'll say this for Zyger because I know he'll love it. Squid Boy or Squid Girl, put them
That would make
in
sense. That would
Smash.
be
Like
something that I could
like
see
like
happening.
that will, like, I'm calling it now.
They will be in it.
November 18th. I'm calling it that Squid Boy or Squid Girl will be a playable character in a Smash Brothers in the future.
It's November 19th.
It's 11 o'clock here.
I know.
So, yeah, that's my prediction. Because why wouldn't they?
But yeah, that's a very like probable prediction.
I think that's of all of our suggestions. I think that's the most likely.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, that's all we had for questions. Thank you, Nate, for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Bringing us back to the old school era of Trove Talk, where it's a near 4 hour.
Yeah,
show.
I was gonna say 4 hour podcast. It's like I thought Irrational Passions was long.
Yeah. Yep. And they've at least got like 3 or 4 other people to kind of fill out the voices.
Yep.
So kind of as a wrap up, go ahead. Do one more push of like tell people where they can find you on social media or on the PSN or Xbox.
Yeah. So you can find me in the Kind of Funny Facebook group. I lurk in there, and as we talked about, post every Friday. On Twitter, I am OCR_Melkor. Xbox, I am just Melkor, straight up Melkor. And then PSN and Nintendo, I am Melkor23.
We didn't touch on it, but I know that you did at some point. You started getting into the streaming. Are you going to try and get back into that at any point, or are you just kind of
no? It's just too much of a time sink, I think.
Yeah.
And like right now, definitely not, because I'm home and I just don't have a good way to set up everything. Maybe if I get a house next year or whatever, I might try to set it up to where it's a lot easier. But yeah, not right now. But I guess if you want to follow me on Twitch, I am OCR_Melkor. It's the same as my Twitter handle.
Cool. I'm Trevor Starkey at Snarky Starkey on Twitter. You can follow the show at Trove Talk. You can find out whatever I'm writing, which hopefully, as you're watching this week, is Shooter Week on trevortrove.com, where I'll be doing kind of daily shooter reviews, hitting kind of all the big fall releases of in the shooter world. Coming up this Friday, if you're watching this, the Friday after Thanksgiving in America, I will be doing a Bloodborne stream for Extra Life. I still need to put together like final details on that, but it'll be Friday into Saturday is what I'm looking at.
Black Friday.
Black Friday. Yep, just like I did last year. So come watch me die a lot in Bloodborne, and it should be a good time. I'll try and keep vulgar obscenities to a minimum, but I'm realizing, I realize when I'm playing through something like Infinite Warfare or something, where like I die and I just say horrible things that I would not say in front of anybody else. So I'm like, I'm gonna be on camera. I need to not do that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of poop, drat, darn it,
crap.
But I will probably also still curse.
Yeah, probably.
But so that'll be happening. So feel free to pop in if you can while I'm doing that. I'm sure I'll be tweeting out as I go. And give if you can. I'll post a link to the Extra Life sometime somewhere. But yeah, that's what's going on with me. Thank you again to Nate Swisher for joining me this week.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked a little bit back before Trove Talk was a thing. You and I had talked briefly about maybe trying to do podcasting at some point, and just kind of got away from both of us, I think. And this, I touched on at some point. This tends to work best for me in just kind of the one-on-one.
Yeah.
I can do it. It's more flexible. I don't have to
scheduling is a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, I was glad we could at least sit down and get this kind of in the books.
Yeah.
Since we haven't really had a one-on-one since since like even when we did the book club.
Yeah.
So yeah, good chatting with you, and thank you for coming on and telling us your story and telling us about K-pop.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Thanks for listening to my ramblings.
Absolutely, definitely an interesting episode. So thank you again, everybody who's watching or listening. And until next time, from all of us here at the Trove, treasure your friends.